versus ONIC.
Yep, and we will jump into the drafting phase presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 series again. Fufi is still banned in this patch. 2 quick bans from ONIC, or FNATIC ONIC rather, just to respect that Zuxin power and also the Luo E potential for Sway low. But for Far, or rather the coach of Rebellion Esports, they want to take out the Ling because Albert is also apt in the assassin department.
And assassins in general are just so dangerous right now, which kind of, I guess it kind of buffs Albert, because you know when he was on top, when he was just on top of everyone's mind as this crazy jungle, the Ling god, right? Before you know the throne got usurped. I mean, he was a great Ling player, and he plays a lot of good assassins. So we can kind of go back to his own roots right here. So it makes the switch a bit more dangerous here that ONIC can pull off against Rebellion. So the Ling, the Fanny, as always. Against the FNATIC ONIC, just banning away the Loyi and Sushin, I feel like they're really putting a lot of emphasis in winning that mid lane.
Yeah. But another question is, Arashi, after that first game, after the drafting phase that has been concluded in that first game, do you see any distinct differences the way that Rebellion drafts with Chico and with Far?
Ooh, like I said, it's a bit more straightforward. I mean, we've seen all these picks that Rebellion has been picking up, kind of seen around, right? It's like the last pick Barats is a bit unexpected, but in the grand scheme of things, we've seen it in the Lanodon before, so it's not exactly a crazy change or a crazy mind game type of pick. The Loyi and the Chip both banned. Now FNATIC ONIC has the first pick. What is it gonna be? We know Sans is very fond of the Valentina. It is still available. It will not be the Valentina, my friend. It's gonna be the Roger.
Roger first pick, again, gives you that flexibility. But it was in the hands of Albert previously, and he was excelling with that pick. Now for Rebellion Esports, 2 picks in their hands. What will they pander into?
It could be the Hayabusa again, it seems. I'm also very confident in the Hayabusa and still the Zask.
Again.
I don't see why FNATIC ONIC won't go for the Aurora right now, as they see the Zask and the Hayabusa. I would say it's like a double value kind of deal right now if you go for the Aurora, because you have ways to counter the Zask by stunning and freezing him up, and you also have a way to technically winner crown yourself when the Shadow Kill comes in.
The extra pass. Exactly. Second chance at life, a free immortality technically. We'll have to see for FNATIC ONIC. They're going for the Arlet right here. And it's gonna be the Valentina this time, not the Aurora. So technically you won't have the same kind of clear and crowd control, but you have mobility, and now Rebellion will have to be a bit more cautious on what kind of big ultimates they want to use if they want to try and stop this death ball, this death dive coming in from FNATIC ONIC.
Yeah. Comment though from Sans. We believe in the process that this roster is still capable and strong. And yeah, I mean, a lot of question rise against FNATIC ONIC. Is this roster still capable? Is this roster still the same, as strong as it was last year? But yeah, Sans trying to prove that still this roster is going to the top sooner or later. But for Rebellion Esports, as Kufra in their hands, so I feel like they still need an innate strong lockdown and initiator that can just supplement the Kufra in the very first place. The Kufra itself won't be enough to lock down the members of FNATIC ONIC.
I think it's more like the front line right here. If only on the Kufra here, presumably, is going to be forced to walk forward and take damage, then why use a Kufra? Why not use something a bit tankier or something with a bit more escape? They want to go for the Kufra because they want to go for that surprising engage potential. But to do so, they need to find information. They need to be able to walk into the danger zones and find something. So they denied the Grok pick that was so difficult to deal with because of the engage, because of the crowd control immunity. I think now Rebellion are trying to fight fire with fire and make sure that they are the ones jumping on the Keyboy instead. They have the burst coming in from the Hayabusa. They got the burst coming in from the Zask as well. But they have to be careful because FNATIC ONIC still have a lot more damage so far when it comes to just instant burst with that Valentina and Roger.
Okay, FNATIC ONIC. I heard a Herith ban, alright? I don't know if it was FNATIC ONIC or if it's Rebellion, but I think it should be FNATIC ONIC that banned it, because it was, you know, the Hylos or the Grok that was, okay, there you go, the Herith ban from FNATIC ONIC. So maybe actually trying to signal that they have already gotten a gold lane pick, right? They might want to narrow down on some of the other gold lane picks here, like the Harith, maybe even getting rid of the Moskov next to put Matt on a hero that he might not be comfortable with. Maybe the Moskov is one of his comforts because it was picked up very early in the draft round.
What all the injustice in the world.
Cho just taken away. It's one of the strong wheelhouses of T-Boy, and yeah, the Moskov narrowing down the choices for Matt to play. I mean, yeah, that Moskov in the first game was at least seen as the ray of hope, the ray of light for Rebellion Esports to crawl out of that loophole that FNATIC ONIC does have, putting them down in that limbo. But this time around, Rebellion Esports, what did they pick up? I mean, a Claude would still be good, I guess?
If they want to go for just big on team fight, they need more crowd control. If they want to go for the Claude first, again, they need something to kind of lock people in place to try and go for the Blazing Duet, because otherwise it's going to get stopped by the Arlet almost immediately, presumably here.
Around here?
Gonna be
Break all the rules.
It's a carry very early on, so they're still doubling down on this pick-off style here with a carry in Hayabusa. Single target damage is off the charts. But can they go for the kind of pick-off when, if right here, FNATIC ONIC goes for something, let's say, like a Minotaur, you know, that can kind of zone everyone away and force them to back off from the initial jump-in attempt. If they do so, then it's gonna be RDTZ stuck in the front all over again.
Now to just disintegrate the players of Rebellion Esports, FNATIC ONIC can just look for a heavy CC composition again. A rewind of game number 1, but again, I'm not a fan of the Kufra as a solo initiator, solo engager.
Exactly.
So, I mean, like, yeah, it can function as a tank, but it can't really outstand, or rather withstand the damage coming in from FNATIC ONIC, especially now they have the Julian, they have the Roger, and the Valentina, so Rebellion Esports, they need something that can enable this Kufra.
Yeah, it should be the Terizla if they really just want to look for a way to engage. The Edith could also work out. I think both options are pretty okay.
Imagine a Paquito.
Oh, if they go for the Paquito again, the Kufra
so
will be the
risky.
sole initiator. And
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You know, up against this composition, the Kufra doesn't do well against the Minotaur. You jump in, Minion's Fury, and then if your team decides to follow up on that initiation, everyone's going to be flying.
Exactly. Minotaur Airlines back in business, like we saw in... It's by FNATIC ONIC as well, the 4-man knockup, I believe in day number 1. Final pick here for Rebellion. Is it going to be more crowd control? It is going to be tankiness and crowd control. They're trying to outlast the members of FNATIC ONIC. They have the Terizla, they have the Zask, they have the invulnerability of the Hayabusa. They have ways to kind of stay in the fight. But I think they really lack ways to protect the carry. That is the main concern right here. Against a Julian, against an Arlet, Valentina, Roger, there's so many ways to jump in. And in the mid game, and even in the late game, if the carry gets taken out, they severely lack damage. We've seen what it's like when the Zask tries to be the sole carry and lift everyone up. We've seen the Hayabusa try to solo carry against 4 members. It just does not work. So carrying the gold lane here for the side of Rebellion will be absolutely critical in ensuring their victory and their success in the mid to late game.